Good afternoon, fans. We are live on thehannibaltv.com with some news today from WWE. My name is Jack Kilby, Executive Vice President of Great North Wrestling. And the news today is that Thunderbolt Patterson will be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame to take place live stream starting at 10 p.m. on April 5th from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Patterson is definitely the definition of an old school inductee. He had quite a career. Just for the younger fans, give a little tiny bit of a synopsis. He broke into the business in 1964 and primarily wrestled in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. In the 70s, he created some controversy by working for a quote-unquote outlaw promotion, a non-NWA promotion at the time, run by Ann Gunkel, which was highly controversial during those time frames. He won the Florida title of the NWA from Bruiser Brody in 1976, and then for Canadian fans' reference, he won the United States title from the original Sheik in 1977 in Maple Leaf Gardens. Lost that back a short time later, but it was most definitely a surprise. Patterson was noted for speaking out against racial injustice and inequality in the wrestling business. He was also an early advocate for a wrestlers union, both of which he would claim led to him being blacklisted from the industry for a number of years until Dusty Rhodes lifted the blacklisting, however that worked. I remember he appeared on a famous Morton Downey Jr. show in the 80s, along with David Schultz, Captain Lou, Ted Arcidi, and a young Paul E. Dangerously, another fellow nominee this year or inductee this year, who appeared on via telephone. Very famous episode. It's on YouTube. I would encourage you to check it out if you haven't. Perhaps his most famous run was one half of the World Tag Team Champions with the recently passed on Ole Anderson. And this angle is noteworthy because it led to Ole turning on Patterson in favor of a young Arn Anderson and thus forming the original Four Horsemen. That's really good stuff and all on YouTube too, if you want to check it out. Patterson's last match was at Slamboree 93 in a what was billed as a Legends match when he teamed with Brad Armstrong to defeat Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke. He did mentor Ice Train, who we lost as well recently in WCW for a period of time before retiring entirely in 1994, where he went on to have a career in labor unions. So Thunderbolt joins Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, the U.S. Express of Wyndham and Rotundo, and Muhammad Ali, assuming in the celebrity wing, quote unquote, thus far. So that should be a very interesting ceremony, to say the least. Speaking of Paul Heyman, would encourage you to watch the Shooting from the Hip podcast with my partner, Angel Kingpin Medina, as he's going to discuss his history with Paul Heyman and thoughts on his induction as well. I want to also remind fans, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, click the notifications button to keep up with some of the things that we have planned upcoming. Most notably, on June the 29th, Great North Wrestling will return to Napanee, Ontario for the first time in a number of years to present a very star-studded card, including the Hardcore Road Trip title defense of Angel Medina against Big Daddy Roy, and the return match for the Canadian title, that being Magnum McLaren of the Big Money Players. And he will face the challenge of Rene Dupree, who proved at the Renfrew Reckoning in November that he will stop at nothing to break the rules and concuss myself without provocation. So I've got a few things planned for Rene, but I'm very excited to announce two things now. One, the last match ever of Mario Mancini, WWE stalwart in the 80s. He will be coming out of retirement one last time